After I spent $8,000 of my own money on small gun safes, I tested the biometrics, I found deadly design flaws, I tested long-term reliability, and a couple of safes broke all by themselves. And then I probably tested over 10 small gun safes to see just how tough they really are. And with all that, these are my top gun safe picks. This is Voltex Lifepod gun case. Main features. This is the original Lifepod, as you can see here, with just enough space for a full-size Glock 22, but a better fit for the compact Glock 19 or 2 Micro 9s as you see here. The Lifepod features dual-side compression latches combined with an interior rubber gasket seals off the interior from environmental factors, making the Lifepod airtight, dust-proof, and can even float in water. Also comes with a steel security cable for quick and easy securement. And now onto my Pry Rating. This is a portable gun case. All it needs is good basic pry protection, and you get that with Vaultek's anti-impact latch as you see here. The Lifepod is also drop tested. The VaultTech Lifepod gets a 2.5 out of 5 Pry Rating. Now my quick access rating. From my personal use of Vaultek's products and years of testing, I have come to 100% trust their safes. Access is with either number pad or key backup. The safe is powered by a 9-volt battery that lasts up to a year of normal use. The VaultTech Lifepod gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought, if you need a trusted weatherproof portable gun case that will last and work when you need it to, there are none better than VaultTech. This is the VaultTech VE20 Smart Safe. Main features: 4 ways to access safe, biometric fingerprint or through VaultTech's app, number pad, or mechanical key. And there is an optional nano smart key as you can see here. The safe features an automatic opening lid, interior light, and a rechargeable battery that lasts up to 4 to 6 months. Also comes with a steel tether cord for quick securement and has 2 pre-drilled holes for permanent placement. And now onto my Pry Rating. The VE20 is made from 18 gauge high carbon steel unibody construction. With its 2 locking latches and anti-pry design, even with its thinner 18 gauge steel construction, this safe is going to be a problem to pry into. These are well made and designed little safes. The VE20 gets a 5 out of 5 Pry Rating. Now my quick access rating. The biometrics pass both my wet and powder tests as you can see here. The biometrics open in just 1 second flat. You also have the number pad and key backup. The VaultTech VE20 gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought, my VaultTech VE20 has been 100% reliable. You can count on this brand to open when you need it to. This is the VaultTech VE20 gun safe. Main features: for the money, the VE20 is the best VaultTech model you can buy. You get all the toughness and build quality of the VS20i, but without the added cost of the biometrics or smart features. Made from 16 gauge carbon steel construction, features automatic opening lid, includes a rechargeable battery, interior light, and a steel security cable for on-the-go securement, and has 2 pre-drilled holes for permanent placement. And now onto my Pry Rating. With VaultTech's progressively formed steel body and with 2 locking latches with anti-pry design as you can see here. And if this Sentry Safe with 1 locking latch took me 23 minutes to pry into with level 3 tools, I can only imagine the problems this VaultTech would give you. The VaultTech VE20 gets a 5 out of 5 Pry Rating. Now my quick access rating. The VE20 has 2 ways to enter, number pad or good old fashioned key. My personal VaultTech has been 100% reliable after 3 years of hard tests. This is a brand I trust. The VE20 gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought, compared to other brands in this price range, I would take the VE20 every time. This is VaultTech's MXE multi-pistol safe. Main features: automatic opening door, rechargeable lithium battery, when fully charged will last up to 3 months with a proximity sensor that illuminates the keypad in low light situations. Also features interior LED lighting, high density twin pistol rack, and storage for up to 8 handguns. Also comes with mounting hardware for permanent placement. And now onto my Pry Rating. From the build of my VaultTech VS20i as you see here, and with my Pry test of 10 safes in the small safe category, with the MXE's weldless progressively formed 14 gauge steel body and thick 12 gauge steel door, anti-pry bar, and dual anti-impact latches, VaultTech makes tough safes. I would say even way tougher than the Sentry Safe you see here, and that was a pain in the ass to pry open. You're going to need an angle grinder and time for this one. The VaultTech gets my highest rating of 5 out of 5 Pry Rating. Now my quick access rating. With the MXE, access is with either number pad or mechanical key. This is a trusted brand and it's just going to work when you need it to. The VaultTech MXE gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thoughts, the MXE keeps it simple and the price down without sacrificing toughness. This is the VaultTech Prove VE gun safe. Main features: the Prove VE is VaultTech's toughest small safe. With 14 gauge carbon steel construction, this is the thickest gauge of steel VaultTech offers in this class. Features auto opening lid, rechargeable battery that lasts up to 4 to 6 months. Also includes a steel security cable for on-the-go securement and 2 pre-drilled holes for permanent placement. And now onto my Pry Rating. With 14 gauge steel and 2 steel locking latches, and with VaultTech's anti-pry design, this safe is a prying nightmare. If the Sentry Safe with 1 locking latch took 23 minutes with stage 3 pry tools, you are going to want to skip the pry tools altogether for the VaultTech Prove VE. The VaultTech Prove VE gets a 5 out of 5 Pry Rating. Now my quick access rating. The Prove VE is a simple electronic safe. You can quickly enter the safe with either the number pad or good old-fashioned mechanical key. With my personal VaultTech safe has been 100% reliable for over 3 years, and I expect nothing less from any VaultTech safe. The VaultTech Prove VE gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought, if you want the toughest small electronic safe, the Prove VE is your only choice. This is the Stealth Shadow SV1 gun safe. Main features: this is the most secure gun safe you can buy, even more secure than a Fort Knox, Feline, or even Viking safe, and here's why. The Stealth Shadow features a UL-approved S&G Spartan Electronics deadbolt. This thing is even EMP rated. S&G locks are the type of electronics found on bigger safes. You won't find this on any other small safes. The Stealth safe features a super thick 7-gauge steel lid, 10-gauge steel body with a gas strut to help lift that heavy lid, foam interior with space for 2 full-size pistols. And now onto my Pry Rating. With the 7-gauge steel lid and steel deadbolt, the Stealth safe is on another level of protection. Even a skilled attacker is going to have major problems with this little safe. If you need the best of the best, this is it. The SV1 gets a 6 out of 5 rating. It just broke my rating system. Now my quick access rating. The UL listed S&G electronic lock is simply the best you can find in the small safe category. Just simply input your code and twist the dial and you're in. The ShadowVault SV1 gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought, the Shadow SV1 is the most secure small gun safe you can find. This would be my go-to storage option, but also a great quick access bedside safe. It's a tank. This is Sentry's fire-rated multi-pistol safe. Main features: if you need a safe with fire and water protection, the Sentry Safe is UL classified for fire for up to 1 hour at 1700 degrees, and is ETL verified for water resistance up to 5 inches for 24 hours. And now onto my Pry Rating. The Sentry Safe has 3 1-inch hardened steel bolts that should give you some pry protection. Sentry makes tough safes. Out of the 10 safes I pry tested, Sentry was by far the hardest budget brand to pry into, as you can see here. And from the build of this safe, I will give the Sentry Safe a 4 out of 5 Pry Rating. Now my quick access rating. At the end of the day, I like mechanical locks, and the Sentry Safe has 2. I would use the dial lock for convenience and the key for emergency quick access. The Sentry Safe gets a 5 out of 5 rating. Final thought, if you need storage for a few pistols and need fire, water, and a little pry protection, the Sentry Safe is a good option. This is the Hornady Rapid RFID vehicle locker. Main features: this Hornady locker easily mounts between your car seat and console, then pumps up for a secure fit. Access is with Hornady's RFID wristband, RFID key fob, or the stick-on type cards, as you can see here on my smartphone. Made to secure your duty size or smaller handguns, and also comes with a steel security cable for on-the-go securement. The Hornady can be powered by batteries, but also can be powered by your vehicle's 12-volt system with a power adapter. And now onto my Pry Rating. From its 14-gauge steel construction and 2 locking latches, this Hornady should give you good pry protection. The Hornady Rapid vehicle safe gets a 3.5 out of 5 Pry Rating. Now my quick access rating. With my 2 Rapid safes I've owned for over 3 years, I've come to trust the RFID quick access. You can also gain entry with the electronic number pad or key backup. The Hornady gets a 4 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought, this may not fit all vehicles, so make sure to take a look at your vehicle's seat and console for fitment. This is the Hornady dual lid lockbox. Main features: the Hornady features 2 separate lockable compartments. The first compartment can carry most full-size handguns, as you can see here with a 1911. The second compartment is good for magazines or ammo storage, or maybe a Macro 9. Comes with a steel security cable for on-the-go securement. The Hornady is also TSA approved. And now onto my Pry Rating. I normally wouldn't rate a lockbox, but with 16-gauge steel construction, this won't be the easiest lockbox to pry open. From my experience with Hornady safes, they make a tough product. The Hornady lockbox gets a 2.5 out of 5 Pry Rating. Now my quick access rating. I'm more concerned with reliability, more so than the low odds of someone lockpicking any safe. The barrel key will be 100% reliable for quick entry, and that's what I care about here. Because in real life, lockpicking is for perverts. The Hornady gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought, pretty versatile lockbox, car, range safe, and a great travel locker. It can do it all. This is the Amazon Basics Hidden Book Lockbox. Main features: there's no better protection than hidden in plain sight. The interior body is made from a thin steel and comes with 2 keys that locks down 1 locking latch, as you can see here. And here is my fitment guide. Here's the quick fitment guide. Let's start off with the Makarov. The Makarov fits in there easy, no problems. Let's move over to the Nickelback of firearms, the XD9. Watch this little lip down here, and there you go. Easy fit, no problems. Now, E-tube. This is an Airsoft 1911, as you see there. No problems. Now let's move over to the big boy. This is a Glock 21. Let's see if we get in there. Just remember that lip right there. Put down that lip. There you go. Not a bad budget option. Thanks Jeff Bezos for the Book of Death. This is the Sentry Safe. Main features: this safe is built super damn tough, as you can see with my pry test on the biometric version. This version of the Sentry Safe entry is with either number pad or mechanical key. Sentry makes 4 different versions of this safe. One model even features a quick attachment steel cable and carry handle. Sentry is my top budget pick. They are reliable and super tough. And for the price, no other small safe brand can compare. And now onto my Pry Rating. My Sentry Safe surprised me on just how tough it was. It took a lot of force, time, and stage 3 pry tools to even enter this little safe. Look at the damage from 23 minutes of a full force pry attack. It's truly a little tank. The Sentry Safe earns a 4 out of 5 Pry Rating. Now my quick access rating. Entry is with the electronic number pad or mechanical key. I tested my Sentry Safe for over 3 years without any issues. These are reliable little tanks you can trust to work when you need them to. The Sentry Safe gets a 5 out of 5 quick access rating. Final thought, if you are on a budget and need a tough little gun safe, this is the one to get. How I rate stuff. I know it looks like I rate everything highly, but I really did spend $8,000 on these small safes, all put on my credit cards, and then I get no views on YouTube. Alright, enough about my suffering, so let's start with the curious case of the build conch. This locker would lock down in place with your right hand, as you can see here, but with only one small tap in the middle of the lid, it would open all by itself. I even thought it might have been possessed by Satan, but that actually turned out not to be the case. You have to press down in the middle of the lid to lock the lid down, as there are 2 locking latches with this locker. And trust me, that's one deadly design. Now onto the pry test. The build conch was tougher than I thought it would be with this sheet metal build. And as you can see here, the 2 locking latches broke off into the body, but they did detach from the sheet metal lid. The build conch got a 2.5 out of 5 pry rating. Now here is the RPMB lockbox, with only one tiny locking latch, as you can see here. By the way, if you ever see this tiny locking latch design, it's probably not going to be a tough locker. Anyway, here is the full pry test. And there you go, 8 seconds to pry open. The RPMB got a 1 out of 5 pry rating. This list is not in order because I wanted to show this Sifely lockbox, as it has a similar latch design as the RPMB. It was a little tougher and took 1 minute and 8 seconds with stage 1 pry tools. The Sifely got a 2 out of 5 pry rating. And here is the RPMB single pistol locker. Side note, this locker would drain its batteries as it sat. This is not good and was the only locker to have battery drain issues. And here is the full pry test. And that's another 1 out of 5 pry rating for RPMB. Let's move up half a rating from the RPMB with the Onias. The Onias looks just like the Ananus. I'm just gonna call it the Anus from now on. They do look the same, but they are not 100% the same. And here is the Anus test, starting with stage 1. So let's see how fast we can get in here. The anus just popped open in 13 seconds with stage 1 pry tools. And here is the Onias test. So that one took 35 seconds and actually bent the lid. The Onias earned a 1.5 out of 5 pry rating. And here is the only cheap brand that stood out, even though it was recalled for its biometrics. But I do believe Allsafe has fixed the biometric issues as of now. I really thought I was going to get in fast and easy with this under $100 safe. But as you can see here, it does have a nice size single locking latch. And to my surprise, took 3 minutes and 82 seconds with level 3 pry tools. And so there is my 3 out of 5 pry rating. Now we move to a stage 4 rating, the Sentry Safe. You will need to go to my channel and find the full test, because it took 23 minutes and 47 seconds with stage 3 pry tools. That was not fun or easy, trust me. So what is a stage 5 rating? Pretty much means pry attacks aren't going to work. Here is my Fort Knox PB1. The design alone prevents any possibility to pry into, as you can see here. Stage 5 is pretty much angled around your territory. And there you go, my 1 out of 5 pry rating system. Until next time, see you then.